Irish Americans make up one of the largest ancestry groups in the United States. There are close to 39 million Americans reporting Irish ancestry, when we combine people claiming full ancestry and people with partial Irish ancestry. Irish presence in America dates back more than 4 centuries, beginning with early settlers who laid the foundation for Irish Americans. Boston is considered the most Irish city in the U.S., as the highest concentration of the Irish American population found in this city in America. Situate in Massachusetts is often considered the most Irish town in the U.S., with about half of its population claiming Irish origins. Other U.S. cities with notable Irish American populations include Philadelphia, Louisville, Portland, Seattle, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh. Irish Americans have their origins in several distinct waves of immigration from Ireland to the United States. Broadly speaking, this migration can be categorized into 3 main waves. The first wave consisted of early settlers who arrived during the 16th to 18th century, laying the foundations of the Irish presence in America. The second wave, which had the most significant impact on the population of Irish Americans today, occurred during the Great Famine, a period that saw a massive exodus of people seeking survival and opportunity across the Atlantic. The third wave, while smaller in scale, was characterized by numerous, intermittent migrations throughout the 20th century. The presence of the Irish in the United States dates back to the 16th century, when a few Irish men arrived with Spanish explorers in the southeast. However, the first wave can be said to come after the Cromwellian conquest of Ireland, when many Irish were forcibly transported to America as indentured servants to work on plantations. They were mostly poor and were sent to southern colonies like Virginia and Maryland for plantation work. In the 18th century, Ulster Scots, or Irish Scots, immigrated to the U.S. for better economic opportunities and religious freedom. The Ulster Scots typically settled in frontier regions, especially in the Appalachian backcountry, where they preserved their Scottish Presbyterian culture and developed a strong independent, frontier spirit that significantly influenced the region's culture. The second and largest wave of Irish immigration to the United States occurred in the 19th century, triggered by a devastating famine in Ireland. The crisis was caused by a potato blight, a fungal disease that destroyed the staple crop on which much of the Irish population relied for survival. The famine led to widespread starvation, disease, and economic hardship, particularly among tenant farmers who had lost much of their land due to centuries of English colonization and land confiscation. As a result, over 1 million Irish emigrated to escape starvation and poverty, with the United States being the primary destination. Upon arrival in the U.S., Irish immigrants often faced prejudice and discrimination. Many Americans, particularly Protestant settlers, viewed them as racially and religiously inferior, largely because most Irish were Catholic. Anti-Irish sentiment also manifested in derogatory stereotypes, political exclusion, and social hostility, including violent incidents in some cities. Despite these challenges, the Irish gradually established tight-knit communities, cultural institutions, and political influence that laid the groundwork for their long-term integration into American society. The third wave was relatively smaller and had different reasons for immigration. Immigration in the 20th century continued but slowed compared to the 19th century. Most immigrants were rural Catholics seeking better economic opportunities. Many Irish immigrants came for work in skilled trades or to join family members already in the U.S. Chain immigration was significant. Once one family member established a foothold, they often sponsored relatives. By the 1950s and 1960s, Irish immigrants were becoming more suburbanized rather than concentrated in dense urban neighborhoods. By mid-century, many Irish Americans had moved into the middle class and suburbs, and immigration was more about opportunity than necessity.